now that you've had a chance to see some information about what the secure zone in Edmonton is going to be like, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's going to be good. Just excited to play hockey again. It doesn't take much to make me happy. As long as there's a hockey stick in my hand, I'm pretty happy. So I'm just ready to get rolling and get to Edmonton and play some hockey.
What are some of the final preparations you have to make to go into the secure zone for an unknown amount of time?
Not a whole lot. Make sure you bring a lot of clean underwear, and that's about it. Just ready to play hockey. That's all that really matters. That's why we're doing it. We're going to play hockey, and that's what we all do. That's what we love to do. And all the rest is just kind of white noise. It's just about playing hockey, and that's kind of all that's on my mind.
One last one for me, Mark. With baseball getting underway this week, we saw a lot of players kneeling before anthems and some during anthems in support of Black Lives Matter. Do you expect NHL players to do something similar? Have you guys talked about that at all?
Not really. I prefer just to talk about hockey questions. But guys are free to do whatever they want, but I'd rather just talk about hockey.
Thank you.
Mark, it's Brian Munns. When you take a look at the first 2 weeks that your group has been together right now, how would you compare kind of what you're seeing on ice, say here today, compared to what those first couple of skates were like, and how your team has been able to continue to get to where you want to be and continuing, obviously, going into this playoff?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting situation. Obviously there's some guys that were able to skate a lot, some guys that weren't able to skate a lot, over the break. So, obviously guys have, gotten to a little, feeling a little better with the puck and on their skates. But, I think it's all kind of a toss up right now. You don't know how other teams are going to fare once it comes to hockey. So, it's kind of exciting. It's kind of exhilarating to see, what it's going to be like once we get to Edmonton. But, it's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be fun to play in.
Speaking of getting into Edmonton, I'm sure you've seen some of the virtual pictures and that type of stuff as to what it's going to be like. How curious are you to finally, now that it's here this weekend, to actually get there and see it with your own eyes?
Yeah, it'll be fun. I know I'm excited. I know a lot of the guys are excited to get back to playing hockey, and that's kind of what it's all about. It doesn't matter about the, what it's going to look like at the end of the day. We're there to play hockey. So, that's kind of my thought. We're going with all our best friends into this bubble, and, we're going to play the game that we love. So, that's kind of the only thought I have.
Thank you.
Hey, Mark, Jay Bell from the Free Press. I know that you probably go into you're a hockey guy, and most training camps you go in with a lot of excitement and intrigue over the questions about personnel and whatnot. This is a different animal, obviously, Mark, because there weren't those kind of questions. But you said you were excited about this camp. What was it different about this session that had you kind of intrigued?
Back to playing hockey. That's what it all comes down to. The entire time, obviously, during the stoppage, after one day, I was ready to play hockey again. And obviously there was a lot, to deal with, but, now that we're back to hockey, that's the excitement, playing the game that we love, every single day. And no matter what it is, we're playing hockey, and, we get to compete for the Stanley Cup. That's the ultimate dream. And, that's why I was excited. I was excited to play hockey again. And that's kind of the only thing that I've really thought about.
You guys have been in pressure situations before. I mean, obviously 2 years ago, and you're going into a Western Conference final, but every one first game is important, but in that short series that you're not accustomed to, I mean, getting off to a good foot, how big is that game one?
Yeah, it's huge. Both teams are going to want to come out, firing all cylinders, and that's just kind of the, we're all in the same boat. There's no excuses. Every team's going through the same thing, and it's about the team that, gets into it right away. There's no excuses at all. Each team has to do their part to win games, and it's not going to matter if you're the first place team or the last place team. It's going to be whatever team comes out and is ready and is fully prepared, and that's the team that's going to come out on top.
Thanks, Mark.
Morning, Mark. Ken Weeb, sportsnet.ca. As a guy who studies his game so closely, what was your biggest takeaway from the St. Louis series last year? And would you spend much time during the pause looking back at video from that or 2018 as well?
Not really, to be honest. My focus was, once we were able to get back on the ice, was to, work on the things that I think I need to work on. And that was my focus. Make sure my body's in prime form to get back to hockey and playing in a full game, and working on the things that can make me a better hockey player for this team. And that was kind of my focus, is to work on those individual skills and that I'm going to bring to the team. And then once hockey starts, that's when it shows.
Sure. Can we go back to 2015? I mean, going up against Ryan Kessler, I mean, Paul Maurice talked about it a lot. What was that like? I mean, you'd played at playoffs before, but what was it like to get that first taste? And maybe what was your biggest takeaway from that experience?
Yeah, it's tough. I think the biggest thing that I learned, every single game, every single, playoff game I've been in, you learn, how to deal with adversity. All it takes is a split second to get open, and, that can change the series, that can change the game. And, I think that's the biggest thing come playoff hockey is, all it takes is a split second to get open. All it takes is a split second to beat a guy and get a chance on net. So, you have to be, sharp all game, no matter if the game's going well, no matter if the game's going, poorly. You have to be prepared for anything in playoffs. And, those are the guys that, succeed. And those are the guys that, excel in those tight situations. And, that's what I've, learned every single game, I've played in.
How about that series against Minnesota too, where you came out so quickly? I mean, is that something, knowing that you can draw on that kind of experience as you get set for a best of five? You think that's a positive thing that you can look at too?
It's going to be a new. It's I think experience is a big one, but it's a new experience for all of us. With this play-in series and what we went through the last 4 months. So, but that stuff only makes us stronger as people. If you deal with that adversity and you look at it in a positive light, you're going to come out stronger. You're going to come out on top. And my thought is just to enjoy it, enjoy the experience, enjoy playing the game of hockey, and work your hardest every single shift. And those guys get rewarded in the end.
Just one last one. I mean, what is it that you found that you enjoy the most about playoff hockey when the intensity cranks up?
I think it's the adrenaline. I think it's, when you get that, when it gets in a tight game and it's in the third period, it's the guys that, are calm, cool, and collected, but they have that adrenaline, buried deep inside them that is just ready to come out. And I think that's what, I'm looking forward to is a real game situation where, everything's on the line and, that adrenaline starts pumping. I think that's what I'm craving the most.
Awesome. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Mark, Tim Campbell, NHL.com. We've heard Paul and others talking about this unique playoffs and the fact that it's going to require players and coaches to be adaptable. So what goes into making a player good at adapting?
I think hard work's always the biggest one. When it gets tough, the tough get going. I think that's a good phrase for this one. You gotta be tough. You're gonna go through, good shifts, bad shifts. You're gonna deal with uncertain circumstances. Whether it's living in the bubble or whatever it is. And it's the people that come out on a positive side of things and say, we're playing hockey, we're enjoying this, we're getting to compete for the Stanley Cup. Those are the guys that are going to come out and work the hardest and get themselves the most prepared for what playoff hockey is going to take. And at the end of the day, there's really no excuses. Everyone's in the same boat. Everyone's been dealt the same card, and you're gonna have to earn it. You're gonna have to work your hardest every single day to get there. And it's whoever works the hardest is gonna earn that ultimate prize of the Stanley Cup.
And last one from me. What gets your attention the most going to play the Calgary Flames?
I think, obviously playing against guys like Monahan and Gaudreau is always fun. They're special players. They got a lot of skill. The Matthew Tkachuk's, I think who's only stuck his, baby toe in the water. He's going to be a special player in this league. It's playing against guys like that motivate me. The stars of the league, that's what, gets me going. The opportunity to play against guys like that and, test my skills against them. I think that's what gets me excited. And, it's hockey, you're playing playoff hockey, to make it the Stanley Cup playoffs. Like what can get better than that? And, that's kind of the way I've looked at this whole situation. And, it's going to be fun, and it's going to be fun to play against a good team in Calgary, and it's going to be a tough test, but, that's what we live for. We live for these moments.